Lawyers and police officers of Reddit. What is the dumbest reason you've seen someone get arrested? Has anyone else noticed that the later into the night it gets, the more gold gets handed out? I have a theory that it's because everyone is drunk by this point. I arrested a guy who continually called 911 asking police to bring him weed and a cheeseburger. He then proceeded to eat the foam padding of my roll bars in the back seat. I've never seen someone trip so bad. Not a cop or a lawyer, but I once saw this Karen protest the lockdown and trespass on a playground. Then when the cop told her to leave and gave her multiple chances to leave, she wouldn't. Then she asked to be arrested and the cop complied, so she got arrested in front of her kids and friends. Then it turns out she staged it. That's about the dumbest reason I've seen. Sticking a damn pineapple up his ass and then walking into Walmart naked with the pineapple still up in his cheeks. I know how annoying it is when people do this, but I'm not a lawyer or a police officer, but I do know the dumbest crime I've ever heard of. My dad's hallmate from university, a young man, walking home from a night out, passed a bus depot and decided to take a bus for a spin, help people get home, etc. Upon return to the bus depot, he was arrested on a few charges including drink driving, endangering the public, and a weird form of theft as he returned it without prompting. Following the charges, he was released, awaiting trial, likely going to receive a nasty slap on the wrist, some fines, maybe a short prison stay, and a suspension of his driving license. Not long before the trial, he needed a good night out with friends, and yeah, obligatory, not a lawyer or a cop, but my fiancé is a cop in a major US city. One of his fellow, very overzealous officers arrested a homeless guy on Christmas Day because he fell asleep in the park. The park closed at 11 p.m., so he broke the law. Yeah, everyone gives the officer shit for it still to this. Someone in my town crashed into a telephone pole and took out the power. The road was closed off while things were sorted out. One lady decided she couldn't take the long way home and crashed into the same telephone pole. She was arrested for drunk driving. I work in police dispatch. You would be surprised how many people with warrants call and request officers to come to their house for unrelated things. Guess they just assume the officer won't run them. Edit. My favorite instance of someone shooting theirself in foot was just a couple weeks ago. Though, someone calls up and says that another mom at the park is screaming, sent her kids and would like an officer to come talk to her. I smiled to myself, told the woman I would get someone headed over. Officers got on scene and sent everyone home because the park is closed due to COVID. I am pretty sure kidnapping a man and his pet goat from a pawn shop is right up there. And #X200B, https://www.riverfronttimes.com/news/blog/2020/01/02/meth-addle-carjacker- kidnaps man and goat from Missouri pawn store. https://www.riverfronttimes.com/newsblog/2020/01/02/meth-addle- carjacker kidnaps man and goat from Missouri pawn store. I got arrested and fined for standing on a road for 2 minutes, first and only day in court. Not a cop or a lawyer, but I knew a guy in high school who got arrested for impersonating a police officer and pulling over a real-life off-duty cop who also happened to know him from high school and found him pretty easily. Because of that, my sister was a legal assistant for a while when she was in school. She went to a hearing with her lawyer and the judge asked the defendant, "And how much marijuana did you have on you?" To which the defendant responded, "Oh no, Your Honor, it was cocaine." Not entirely sure how that got messed up, but the judge apparently gave the look of, "How fucking stupid are you? I am not a police officer, but I have a friend living in my basement who was arrested and charged for assault with a weapon. The weapon in question was a tomato! Exclamation mark. He threw it at his girlfriend and she called the cops and pressed charges! Exclamation mark. He pleaded guilty and is now on probation for 12 months! Exclamation mark. Not police, but a guy that first knew fell over onto a police officer, who thought the Guy was attacking him, he got arrested. Sensibly, no charges were pressed and the cop ended up buying the guy pizza to apologize. I was on a ride along. Guy gets pulled over, hands his brother's ID to the officer. It is not a good match. Officer asks him when he was born. He gets that one right. Asks him how old he is. He's off by 2 years. He's being put in the car and the officer says, "You're the first guy I've arrested for bad we never arrested him, but I investigated a fraud where a guy called our department that issue licenses to captain oil tankers etc. When they told him he didn't have enough evidence of previous sea experience, he literally emailed in a photograph of him sat at his computer forging a sea service testimonial for his last company and asked, "Is this okay?" I was part of our law enforcement unit and we agreed we needed to ask Parliament to add a new merchant shipping offense for being a total fucking idiot. Not a police officer or a lawyer but someone I went to school with took MDMA and then decided to go for a drive and the police tried to pull him over and he tried to escape, ran like 8 red lights and crashed into a prison of all places. Work for a smaller county. Last fall we got a group of people coming me down from a nearby city to rob a hemp farm, thinking it was weed growing along the highway. Several of the crack team of bandits were arrested and lodged. The kicker is it was explained explicitly how dumb it was, that you can't even get high of the stuff, but the very next weekend they came back down and tried to pull it off again. Only this time the farmer was home and ended up holding them all at gunpoint till we arrived. I used to work at a juvenile detention center. We had a local police department bring in a 10-year-old boy for hitting his house with the brooms. My dad once got arrested because he didn't believe the cop in cities was a real cop, so he slapped him. Turns out he really was a real